All right, up next we have a special presentation by Kevin O'Malley. He's got a hot take on one of the smallest celebrities on the scene today. Here he comes, Kevin.
I could face legal repercussions for this. This is an official TED Talk. I contacted Ted. Didn't get back to me yet. But we're running out of time. I have a very important presentation to make here today. There's a lot of things out there. There's a lot of oversaturation in comedy in general. An idea comes out and it gets beat to death. And I have one idea that's been beaten to death now for a little bit over 2 weeks. Yodel Boy. If you don't know Yodel Boy, I mean, everybody knows Yodel Boy. He's been performing for a long time now, but his initial viral tweet and, I mean, just millions of memes started on March 27th by a tweet by a guy with a username @VeganGod or something like that. This is an example of a TED Talk if I made this presentation an hour ago. But I have a lot of thoughts on the subject. Here we got Mason Ramsey. He's Yodel Boy. If you don't know him, you're going to get to know him really well right now. He's from Golconda, Illinois, a terrible name for a town. He's been performing since 3, not p.m., years old. He's famous. 90% of his charm is that he sings in Walmart. I mean, a lot of people sing. I'd say most people have sung in their lifetime, especially by 10 years old. He's 10 years old. I should put this on him, on this thing. Take my word for it. But the fact that he's singing in Walmarts, that's special. He's got millions of views. I tried to calculate it. I mean, there's so many duplicates of it. The one video, and they got all over millions of views. So who knows? He's opened for Kenny Rogers, so he's been famous in the past. I don't know any Kenny Rogers songs, but I saw the name and I was like, ooh. And he's famous specifically for singing Love Sick Blues by Hank Williams. Alright, so we're going to go on. Here's the video. We're going to play it for you. Alright, I've done extensive research on him. That's his grandma? That's so much. Who knows what audience he has? Format is great for stand-up because all I had to do is show you guys a video. I don't know. We could watch the whole thing, but I mean it's 2 minutes long. I gotta move on. So anyway, Mason, kind of bizarre. He lives in Illinois, like I mentioned. Clarksville, Tennessee, Walmart. Next slide, real quick. He.
Oh my God, John. Oh my God.
Oh, I'll get to that. Over 2 hours from his house. He's touring. This kid is a sensation. He sung in his Walmart, got famous, and he's like, I'm going to perform in more Walmarts. Alright, click to the next one again. So we're back to this video. Hit play, and just take the send.
Oh my God, John. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. I'm hanging at the Straight Talk wireless section here in the Clarksville Walmart. You're not going to believe who...
guy is? When I first saw it, well, now I do know, I did my research. But when I first saw it, I was like, I thought maybe he was like his long-lost dad who came back to capitalize on the fame and made this obviously staged encounter. Could you go back just to that slide? Because I want to see this again. Just hit play. We'll play it straight through.
Oh my God.
This
Oh my
weirdly
God.
staged
Oh my gosh.
encounter
You're in the
with
straight
this
talk
boy, and it
wireless
makes him so
section here
uncomfortable.
in the Clarksville Walmart. You're not
He's
gonna
like some kind of weird deal with Straight Talk Wireless, getting free cell phones.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Aren't you Mason Ramsey?
And look how many qualifications
You're
he
the-
needs to run past this kid to make sure
You're the
it's him.
same Mason Ramsey I was singing? That's got 1 million views.
Like, obviously it's him.
Okay, all right. And if you do a good job, you said that he likes these, right? Okay. You gonna sing for us?
Pause. I mean, when they started offering the king, I was like, this is a little ridiculous, but that kid he can't wait to get that king-size system. Anyway, so the guy in that video, he works for a radio station in Clarksville, and he just does these self-produced videos about Mason Ramsey, including this 60 minutes-esque piece that he made on his own. Not even for his company, this is his private YouTube channel. I mean, we'll watch a little bit, but
Who's the little boy singing at your local Walmart?
he's not even good at it. Alright, next slide. This is another video of him singing. I probably don't have time to do this. Next slide. He also posts videos like this on his YouTube page, which is 17 seconds long and worth the time.
Keep it real. I've never seen so much traffic for a sandwich. A $1 sandwich?
I don't want to make too many comments, but if Mason Ramsey ever goes missing, there's only one guy I want to search. So he's famous. He's great at it. There's no question about that. None of us can wonder, is he famous? He's of course famous. But I got one question. Would he be famous? Is this the only time period that he could be famous in? Alright, drop him down the wormhole. Here we go, it's a bunch of clicks. It's like 4. We're going back in time. To 2008. Just 10 years ago, Mason would have been 0 years old. This is the time of Obama and other things. 2008. I mean, there was Twitter, but there wasn't like the meme presence that there was on Twitter now. So Mason wouldn't be able to become famous off of YouTube. That's something that we're going to have to accept going into this presentation. Go forward. Would he become famous on the Ellen Show? I gotta say, I don't think he would have quite made it to the Ellen Show because, I mean, just the YouTube format. She had just married Portia de Rossi. There was just a lot. The climate just wasn't right for him on the Ellen Show. Next. I mean, Jay Leno is far too liberal. And I mean, you gotta be kidding me. He would have been a letterman. You gotta be fucking real with me. There's only one place that Mason could have received fame. It's American Idol. The only place people who sing go to be famous in 2008. So the rules for this following experiment, forget that American Idol age restriction is 15 years old. We're gonna let that slide. We're going to completely transport Mason and his life to there, so Mason's going to remain 10 years old. His grandparents are still going to be 77 and 78. Walmart's still going to have those great low prices. And the king-size Reese's bar is going to be $2.50, and so is going to be a gallon of gas. All right, and of course, Mason's going to have to pay his own way, and he's going to have to be just as charming as ever. All right, keep going. So, the nearest American Idol audition to Mason in 2008 would have been episode 5, the Nebraska audition. 8 hours and 47 minutes away. Not close. So, next slide. Some of you gotta understand, driving while I did some research. I have no idea where Mason's parents are. He's watched after by his grandparents. Like I said, are above the age of 75, so they would have needed to renew their driver's license. Next slide. Less than 20% of senior citizens renew their driver's license in the state of Illinois. It's a stat I found on this website. He has 2 grandparents. I don't know, I took finite math, it seems like decades ago. And I think that's a 2/5 chance of getting a ride to American Idol. We're gonna have to assume that they passed because he drives literally hours to Walmart. So, this is a 595-mile trip. Next slide, if we could. I'm gonna assume specifically in this steel blue color. Next qualifying slide. This car gets 27 highway miles to the gallon. Its fuel capacity of 17 gallons and seats 3. Obviously, we'd go Grandpa, Mason in the middle, then Grandpa. All right, so the trip to Omaha is 595 miles. Like I said, 27 miles per gallon at $2.50 per gallon. $56 there. Not that much. I thought it was going to be way more. I feel like it's way more. And 112 round trip, aka this many Reese's cups. We would go. It's like we said, Mason's going to have to pay his own way, so he would have had to work to perform. In the previous video, he had to sing 2 songs for that weird Bieber man. So, that's like a lot of singing that you kind of do to save up to go to Omaha. And if we translate that to Reese's Cups, next slide would have been this man. So, you saw his face when you saw the Reese's Cups. He really likes those guys. This would have been a big sacrifice. All right, next slide. So, Omaha auditions. In season 7, 212 tickets over 8 cities. Omaha only had 12 tickets. One of them was David Cook. So 4,000 people came out to audition. There's a non-film screening section not a lot of people know about in American Idol. So he would have had to get past that. Only about 300 people get through that. And then only about 30 of the film people end up in the final edited thing that you see in your room. So that's a 0.75% chance that Mason would have made it to your living room, which is just, I mean, that's very hard. I don't know if he would have done it. I mean, you take that map, but I think this little boy has a lot to thank for the internet and memes. And I think we have a lot to thank for him for his beautiful voice. So.